Hi everyone, this is lesson 4.3 and we're going to be going over two things, plotting points and scatter plots. So let's start with plotting points. At the bottom you'll see something called a Cartesian plane, and so we draw that on a grid or a graph paper. We use a ruler and then we draw our horizontal axis, which is called our x-axis, and that's why we label it with an X. Now our vertical axis is called our y-axis. And again, we always label that with our y. And along the x and y axis, you'll notice numbers, and that's called our scale. So starting from the origin, which is what we call the very middle dot, okay, we are going to go to the right, and those are all of our positive numbers for our x-axis. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we don't have to write all the numbers, so you'll notice that 1 and 5 and the 3 are not there. That's okay. Like, you know they're there. We just don't write them all because then it'd get really crowded. Here are all the negative numbers on our x-axis, so -1 to -10. We have all our positives for our y going this way, and then all of our negatives going downwards this way. Okay, so writing all those numbers in our scale helps us to set up the Cartesian plane. Now what we're going to do is we're going to plot the points. And so the way that we do that is each coordinate is kind of like an address. You start off with the bracket, then you write the x first always, put a comma, write the y number second, and then close it off with a bracket. So the x, because it's a horizontal axis, represents our left and right, whereas the y is our up and down because it's our vertical axis. So we have an example right here, 5, 4. So the 5 is our x and the 4 is our y. Now where did those numbers actually come from? Starting at the origin, we had to move +5 lines or blocks to the right. And then we had to go, so there is a 5 like right here. That's a 5 right there. And then we had to go up to the 4. See, there's the 4. In order to draw the final destination of our coordinate. And that's why we write the 5 first and the 4. So let's practice a little bit over here. Example number 1. A, name the coordinates of the points A, B, and C. So notice on the graph on the right hand side, you already have in blue an A dot, B, and a C. So we want to write the address of each of those coordinates. I'm going to start off by saying I'm going to look for A, and we open it up with a bracket. Okay, now we always start at the origin, and it looks like we're going to have to go left first, because we always go left or right to do our x number first. Okay, so we went left all the way to -7. Put a comma because we have another number coming after it, and that's our y. So the y is going up all the way to the A, is going to be 6. Okay, so right there, and then we close it. So that's how we draw, or I should say write, the address of A. Now I already have B and C done. We'll just see if I have the right answers. So starting at the origin, start with your x. Looks like we're going to go left all the way to -5. Then we're going to go down to -4. So this one looks correct. For C, start at the origin, go left and right first. So here we're going to go to the right 4. And then we're going to go up 3. Okay, so this one is also correct. All right, now that we know how to name the address of points that are already on the grid, why don't we practice the other way around? So if I actually give you the address, could you plot the coordinate? Let's start off with D. So remember, this is our x number and our y number follows it. So starting at the origin, you're going to go along the x-axis to -2, and then you're going to go up along the y-axis until you get to 6. Now that's where you're going to put your final dot. Sorry, that keeps popping up. And then you're going to put a D because we were drawing D. I don't really want all of these arrows. They're kind of confusing, so just get rid of them. The only thing I want is the dot and the letter. So I've done E for us. Let's just make sure that we got the right answer. So 7 for our x and then -4 for the y. going positive 7 along our x, and then negative 4. So that looks good. All right, now f is going to be a little bit trickier. F is going to be 0 for your x, which means don't go anywhere. Don't go left or right. Just start from the middle origin and then tackle the 8, which means you're going to go up and you're going to put a dot right at 8, and that is your f. And let's get rid of all of these arrows because we don't want to confuse anyone, and that is so much neater. So I'd like you guys to just check to make sure that I did my G correct. And we're going to move on to the next part of our lesson, which is scatter plots.